So the Charlton Hunt Fillies handicap ahead of us here at Goodwood. It's race 4 of 6, and we're seeing Libertine Belle, or the back end of Libertine Belle, heading down to post. And she is the horse, Steve, that is the favourite and the one they all have to beat. If she runs up to her best, is she going to win?
Well, she's again, we've said this about so many races. She's the one who's got current form, off today's sort of mark, over today's sort of trip. Therefore, she ought to run well. Is she going to win? Yeah, probably, very likely. But you still, again, you've got some horses who are not fully exposed. Take her on, likes of Give Them the Slip, who you don't really know the limit of her ability.
Indeed, that's a very fair point about a horse like that. But Libertine Belle, she's £2 well in,
yeah.
According to the handicap. She had the tongue tie on last time, but she ran well at Lingfield. She got the tongue tie on again today. Her chance is fairly obvious. Now, let's talk about Give Him the Slip. She is still a maiden. But she's shown, I think, a decent amount of promise, and she's also shown that she's got plenty of pace, Steve.
She has. I think that, yeah, absolutely. I think speed is her asset. I thought on the pick of her form, I thought 69 was workable. And again, they're claiming £5 like they did the last race with a useful claimer, which makes it an even more appealing mark. So I can definitely see that she should be competitive for a mark like this.
She's got very good pedigree.
Yeah.
Her dam was third in the Guineas back in the day.
Yeah.
OK, let's talk about the next one in the market, and that is Silver Diva. We haven't spoken about just yet, and she's actually second choice in the market. And we spoke about her on Extra earlier on, and we talked about the runs at Salisbury and Lingfield, and I mentioned the ground to you, that may be an issue.
Well, that's the worry, isn't it? Her best, she has got form on good ground, but the very pick of her form, I think it's fair to say, has come with a bit of dig in it. So that's your concern. I've got no problems with the mark, and again they're claiming £5 with Laura Pearson, which is a good thing in handicaps. It's just whether she copes with the conditions.
What about Cloholtine for George Baker and Jamie Spencer? We know that the stable is in good form, and she ran well at Lingfield last month. That was over 7 furlongs. What are your thoughts about the 6 today?
I go into it concerned. She's got to prove that she's effective. That's we've talked about the ground with 1. I think the worry it's a sharp 6 furlongs, and whether she copes with that. That last one clearly shows she's improving, which is a good thing. And obviously the connections have taken the option to drop her in trip, but it's got to be proved.
I thought Liberty Bay was maybe slightly overpriced. I think she's currently available around 12 to 1, because I thought it was a fairly good run at Leicester, and that was her seasonal return, and she had decent form last year as a 2-year-old.
Yeah, I'm the same, although she's more exposed in some ways, since she had more runs. I think it was her first run for 5 months. I thought that would suit.
15 to 8 under Marco Ghiani. Silver Diva at 4 to 1, 5 to 1. Give Them the Slip now. Cloholtine at 6 to 1. Moonshiner 7s. Liberty Bay at 11 to 1. 11 to 1. Ocean Eyes and Matera Bay 100 to 1. Of course, they'll come flashing down the stand side. And Libertine Belle is your market leader, is she?
And it's understandable why she is the market leader, Lighters, because she is a pretty solid contender. But I guess the question is, we have got a few horses that might well find significant improvement today, Steve. How strong, first of all, do you think Libertine Belle's chance is?
Well, it's a good chance. The handicapper says she's £2 well in. She acts clearly on good to firm. Lingfield isn't identical to here, but it's got undulations, and there's no reason she shouldn't run to her form. It's just a question, really, of whether one or two of the others find a bit. Give them the slip in making her handicap debut. She might turn out better than the mark, that sort of thing. But she's the rightful favourite, Libertine Belle, I think.
You mentioned Give Him the Slip. Anything else that you think could potentially improve?
Well, both of them not so much improved, but the horse who looks a big price in terms of what they've done will maybe be Liberty Bay, who's got the excuse, who ran all right last time. That was her, I think it was her turf debut. Certainly one of her few turf runs, and it was her first run for 5 months, more significantly, so she might improve a bit.
It was her turf debut at Leicester, so. You're right, and she did lose a shoe, and I thought that was a really good run, a kind of run that you thought she would improve significantly from first to second, and this obviously being her second run on turf and second run of the season. I thought that she had a decent chance, and she's double-figure price at the moment.
Yes, absolutely. Cloholtine's interesting. She's just got to prove that she is effective. She ran well in her handicap debut last time out. That was 7 furlongs. Will she be as quick, or will she be quick enough to cope with a sharpish 6? We'll see.
Silver Diva, the ground, a question mark against her?
That's the doubt. No worries with her form. Been running very well the last 2 runs. That's come with cutting the ground, although she has got some form on good ground. The pick at the moment is with cutting the ground.
Moonshiner ran well at Wolverhampton. That was over 5, so step up and trip, a bit of a question.
It is a question. It's not just that run. I think our best two pieces of form have come on has come over 5 furlongs.
Okay, last one coming forward, or last couple coming forward. So it's time we head up to John Hunt in the commentary box.
Rishi, thank you. Give him the slip, stall 6, and drawn right up the stand-side rail. Libertine Bell, stall 8. And we're good to go. The Charlton Hunt Fillies handicap. They're off and racing. So jumping away, Ocean Eyes, the one who missed the break. Liberty Bay away sharply. Gets the rail ahead of Libertine Bell, who's held up now mid-division. Away pretty smartly. Matira Bay is also showing some speed on the wide outside of the field. That's the white face of Moonshiner. Cloholteen's in behind them. Silver Diva close up as well with Given the Slip. Libertine Bell will have to come through runners to win, and Ocean Eyes still at the back of the field as well as they move on then down the hill towards the halfway stage in the Charlton Hunt Fillies handicap. And it's the two horses in pink, Moonshiner, Matira Bay. They're out in the middle of the track. They're being followed by Given the Slip, who's breezing through. Liberty Bay next. He needs an out on Libertine Bell. Can't get it. Has to switch back to the near side rail. Silver Diva's another one who just can't get a run in behind Ocean Eyes, who's trying to improve as well. Cloholteen's over on the far side, but now the action switches back to the stand side. Liberty Bay out in front there with Moonshiner, and here's Libertine Bell, who's had a troubled run through, but now produced with every chance. Cloholteen's back in 4th place. Liberty Bay from Libertine Bell. Libertine Bell this side. Libertine Bell getting up. Libertine Bell from in 2nd place. Liberty Bay. 3rd across the line was Moonshiner. Cloholteen came next.
First thing to say, well done to John Hunt. It's pretty awkward calling those two Libertine and Libertines. But it's Libertine Bell who has got up to beat Liberty Bay. It'd be interesting to watch the race on a head-on perspective, because I've half wondered about the runner-up wanting to lean right for a long way through it. But let's talk about the winner first of all, Stephen. What a creditable effort that was.
Yes, had to wait for a run, showed a really good attitude to get up and win, and £2 well in is just about right on the way it's done. One thing I thought may or may not be significant, I'll leave it for people to judge. They didn't race in 2 groups, but it was almost 2 groups. Certainly to halfway, there were 3 horses stand side, the rest of the horses up the middle. 2 of the horses who raced stand side were 1st and 2nd. Now, whether you think that's significant or not, the other one who wasn't was Given the Slip, who showed pace and dropped away and actually hung across into the centre a bit. But the 2 horses who, throughout the race, ran nearest the stand rail dominated. Now, that may just be they were the best horses, but it's worth pointing out.
I'm just watching the runner-up in the white cap. It just felt to me that she wanted to lean to her right,
I think she did.
the left, all the way through.